Information Society, redefining excellence.
Hello everyone, my name is Himanshu Ravindra Thakre. Our PBL project is Bidirectional Visitor Counter and our PBL guide is Sachin sir. This project describes the design and working of a bidirectional visitor counter using 8051 microcontroller. The main intention is to design a system wherein the number of persons entering or leaving a room is kept track of and displayed on the screen. When a person enters the room, count would be increased, whereas on leaving, the count would decrease. IR sensing mechanism is used to sense the presence of visitor and the whole counting operation is done by a microcontroller. Here we will see the step-by-step connection of the circuit. This is the actual display connection which we have done already in the breadboard for better understanding. In this LCD, these are the 16 pins from 1 to 16 which we have to give some external connection before connecting it to the microcontroller. And here is the circuit. In this, these are the 16 ports which we have to place the LCD to make it work. These 8 headers will get directly connected with the 8 data pins of the LCD once you placed it appropriately. Similarly, this will connect to the control pins of the LCD, that is RS, RW and E, in which RW is already connected to ground. So we no need to ground to the microcontroller. Then in this two set of wire, first is for powering up the LCD and the second is for LED backlight. You can also leave the second one open if the backlight is not required. And you can see this third pin of the LCD is connected to the wiper pin of NK port to adjust the contrast of the character. Now place the LCD on the breadboard and connect the 8 data pins of the LCD one by one to port 0 followed by RS and E2, P3.6 and 3.7 of the microcontroller. Once done, finally connect it to the positive wire to 5 volt and negative wire to the ground to complete its connection. This is the reflective type of IR sensor which we are going to use in this project. Here in this, first pin is connected to the 5 volt supply and the second pin to the ground. And finally the third, that is data pin, can be connected to any of the digital microcontroller pins. And this port here is used to set sensitivity of the IR sensor. In simple, if we reduce its sensitivity, then it detect the obstacle only it is closer. And these are the IR receiver and transmitter which is used to transmit and receive the IR port. Actually, we need to use two such IR sensors for detecting the entry and exit of the person. First, connect all the 6 pin to individual wires and start connecting the ACC and the ground pin of both IR sensor to 5 volt and ground. Then connect the two data pins of the IR sensor to pin 2.0 and 2.1 of the microcontroller to complete the connections. Here, once we switch on the circuit, the LCD will display the count as 0. Now consider these two sensors have been placed in the incoming and outgoing passage of the room. Here you can notice once if I cross this sensor repeatedly from outside in, the microcontroller keeps on increasing on count until we are stopped crossing it, which means it's counting the number of person entering the room. Similarly, if I cross the sensor from inside out, the microcontroller keeps on decrement until the value reaches 0.